Today's headlines: Pacquiao vows to kayo crooks. Robredo spearheads isang bayan nominees. Yuka Saso makes history as she wins US Open. 5.38 million vax doses 100 days after rollout. Don't choose vax brands, Panelo. Infections in Visayas, Mindanao still manageable. Persistence is key, says JR. Ravena's not going anywhere. And Southwest monsoon to bring cloudy skies and rain showers to Metro Manila. Good morning. Today, I am Miguel Paltagon and you are watching Tribune News on Q. Today is Thursday, June 7, and now, the news. By the time Manny Pacquiao leaves office, assuming he runs for the highest office in the land and eventually becomes president, there's only one thing he says he would love to be remembered for. Pacquiao, who returns to the ring against undefeated American knockout king Errol Spence on August 21 in Las Vegas, insists he feels the pulse of the poor, as for many years he was one of them, often hungry and unsure where the next meal would be. Just like the underprivileged, Pacquiao swears he is longing for the day when even the rich and the influential who are found guilty of crimes are sent to jail. Pacquiao is among a handful of politicians said to be jockeying for position in the next year's national elections. Although he has yet to formally declare his intentions to run, Pacquiao's bold remarks lately could be proof that he is gunning for the presidency, according to the political insiders. The Isang Bayan coalition on Sunday named Vice President Leni Robredo, former Senator Antonio Trillanes IV, Senator Grace Poe, Senator Nancy Binay, and Manila Mayor Isko Moreno among its presidential nominees on the run-up to the June 12 online voting for the opposition standard-bearer in next year's national election. In a radio interview, Isang Bayan Coalition convener Attorney Howard Calleja said that one of the two more names will be included in the final list before the scheduled online selections. Calleja pointed out that while the Isang Bayan welcomes the statement of Robredo that she is not discounting the possibility of running in the presidential polls, the vice president will also undergo the selection process. Calleja added that aside from the members of the Isang Bayan, the public can participate in the online selection process. At the same time, Calleja said that the coalition is not closing its doors to the possible inclusion of Senator Manny Pacquiao, Senator Panfilo Lacson, and Senate President Vicente Sotto I. Yuka Saso makes history as she becomes the first Filipino to win the US Women's Open. The 19-year-old Filipino teenage birdied the third playoff hole to beat Japan's Nasa Hatalko and win the US Opens at the Olympic Club on Sunday. Saso shook off two early double bogeys, coming back with late birdies at 16 and 17 in a 2/73 to thrust herself into the playoff with 4 under of 280 for 72 holes. As overnight leader Lexi Thompson faded, Hatalka guarded a final round 68, but after both she and Saso parred both holes of the 2-hole aggregate playoff, it was Saso who came up with a birdie at a sudden death third hole. Saso matched South Korean Park Min-bae as the youngest winners in the championship's history at 19 years, 11 months, and 17 days, and earned her LPGA Tour membership. Trivia News on Q will be back after these reminders.
Hatch something big! The all-new Honda City hatchback with 4 seating modes. Utility mode, long mode, tall mode, refresh mode. The all-new City hatchback. Hatch more life!
Araneta City, home to the country's first indoor shopping mall, the world's original Thrilla, and the first ever Bini Bini pageant. Now a place for your first win, your first catch, your first home, your first big break, your first date, and even your first love. Araneta City, the city of firsts.
Exactly 100 days after the Philippine government started the national vaccination program, last March, there have been more than 5.38 million coronavirus disease vaccine doses that have been administered in the rollout. But before the country achieved those numbers, the search for the elusive vaccines has not been easy, as the vaccination program faced several problems such as insufficient vaccine supply, lack of indemnity, law, and funding. As the country leads in the Southeast Asian region in terms of high number of infections, President Rodrigo Duterte replaced the COVID-19 immunization program management organizational structure by a vaccine cluster within the Interagency Task Force on Emerging Infectious Diseases. The Philippine Food and Drug Administration, for its part, has been tasked to review the safety and efficacy of the COVID-19 vaccines as well as the issuance of an emergency use authorization. To date, the regulatory body has issued a EUA to 7 COVID-19 vaccines such as Pfizer-BioNTech, Oxford AstraZeneca, Sinovac, Sputnik V, Johnson, Covaxin, and Moderna. Chief Presidential Legal Counsel Secretary Salvador Panelo discouraged the public from choosing COVID-19 vaccine brands after President Rodrigo Duterte has allowed overseas Filipino workers to pick their preferred vaccine. He also said the vaccines available in the country were already procured and all of them are safe and effective. The former palace mouthpiece vouched that China-made vaccines like Sinovac and Sinopharm are safe and effective after the World Health Organization approved its emergency use earlier this week. The statement came after reports of several outbound OFW have been refused from entering their host countries, which prefer Western brands like Pfizer, Moderna, and AstraZeneca. The incident prompted the national government to move workers bound for overseas deployment to A1 priority group along with medical frontliners. The Department of Health on Sunday said the situation in Visayas and Mindanao is still manageable amid the spike of coronavirus cases in various regions in the country. Over this treatment czar and DOH Undersecretary Leopoldo Vega underscored the need to strictly implement the minimum health protocol and hasten the vaccination drive of the government to address the increase in the COVID cases outside Metro Manila. Vega attributed the upward trend of COVID cases in Visayas and Mindanao to the presence of variants in different regions as well as the failure of the people to follow the minimum health protocol. We'll be back. Stay with us.
Manong Joe po!
At Ate Maita,
Matapos ang magkasunod na buwang pagbaba, bagyang tumaas ang overall electricity rates ng halos 9 centavos per kilowatt hour ngayong buwan. At paalala lang po, maging energy efficient po tayo.
lalo pag mainit. Dahil mas hirap ang appliances at mas makonsumo. Buti may bright ideas tayo na based sa Meralco Power Lab tests. Engineer Alfred?
Alam niyo ba, ang lumang aircon, mas mataas ang konsumo. Up to 682 pesos ang dagdag kada buwan kumpara sa bago. Mas energy efficient kasi ang technology ng bagong aircons. At kung inverter, pwedeng lampas 1,000 pesos ang savings per month. Piliin din yung may horsepower na sakto sa laki ng kwarto. Kung hindi, halos 1,000 ang extra gastos buwan-buwan.
Sundan ang tips na to. And visit our website para You have the power this summer.
King of R&B, JR couldn't help but reminisce about his days as a boy band member now that he was tapped to be a mentor in TV5's newest reality search competition. The Filipino-American singer-songwriter was part of the boy band First Impression, with JR on the group were members Mike Gabriel, Alex Bacani, Jimmy Martinez, and Owen Amorao. When Gabriel, Amorao, and Bacani went their separate ways, JR and Martinez added Chris Lawrence to the group. They performed in gigs all over Los Angeles, San Francisco, and Michigan. The experience, JR said, is a huge part of who he is today. In Pop Pinoy, JR will help viewers realize that idols aren't chosen on a whim. It is rather a rigorous process, one that involves passion, sweat, and tears. The Shiga Lake Stars of the Japan B-League is not giving up on acquiring keepers Ravena from NLEX even as the Philippine Basketball Association made it clear that the prized Filipino player has to honor his contract with his mother school. The Stars were scheduled to hold an online press conference today to formally announce the acquisition of the 27-year-old Ravena, but the PBA board stood its ground and ruled that the player isn't going anywhere. But the Japanese ball club isn't throwing in the towel just yet. PBA Commissioner Willie Marcial and Board Chair Ricky Vargas reiterated over the weekend that the league is not allowing the 6-foot player maker to play abroad despite Ravena's decision in a deal with the Lake Stars despite his live 3-year contract with NLEX. Under the agreement, Ravena is committed not only to the Road Warriors but also to the league, barring him from seeing action for any team outside the PBA. The said contract does not contain an exit clause, effectively putting Ravena under the league's control until his contract expires in 2023. Metro Manila and Central Luzon, apart from Aurora, will have cloudy skies with scattered rain showers and thunderstorms, while Calabarzon will experience partly cloudy to cloudy skies with isolated rain showers or thunderstorms according to Pagasa. Light to moderate winds blowing from the south to southwest will prevail over the areas with slight to moderate sea conditions. Visayas, northern Mindanao, Caraga, and Davao region, meanwhile, is expected to see cloudy skies with scattered rain showers and thunderstorms, as well as caused by an intertropical convergence zone. That wraps up the stories this morning. Catch the latest news on our website, tribune.net.ph, and follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And subscribe to our YouTube channel, Tribune Now. The Daily Tribune is one with the nation in facing the COVID-19 crisis, and in line with this, the Daily Tribune digital edition on Press Reader is now available for free online. You can also download the Daily Tribune app on Apple Store and Google Play to get the latest and most comprehensive news online. The Daily Tribune is also inviting everyone to join its community Viber, Katribu, to get updates on the freshest and hottest news and entertainment stories of the day. Torcito emoticons are also available on our community Viber. Just visit the sticker store on Viber and search for Katribu. Before we go, we would like to thank the Essence Store and Araneta City for their continued support. Again, this is Miguel Pautagalan, and you're watching Trivia News on TV. Stay safe, stay healthy, and stay at home. Good morning, and have a nice day.